The Minnesota Timberwolves, over the last couple of years, have been perhaps the most dysfunctional and disappointing team in the NBA. Over the span of the last 5 years, I'm pretty sure they've at least have had five first overall picks on their roster. They drafted Karl Anthony Towns in 2015. They got Andrew Wiggins in 2014. They got Derrick Rose in 2008, though it wasn't prime Derrick Rose. They got Anthony Edwards in 2021. And most importantly, the one that surprised me the most is they had Anthony Bennett, one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. But still, they've only made the playoffs once with the Jimmy Butler year, but that we all know how that ended. So, I want to answer this question. When will the Minnesota Timberwolves be good? When will they be competent? And it's really interesting. So we have to look at first the history of the Wolves. They of course had Kevin Love in the early 2010s, but after realizing that he wasn't really the franchise player, and I think he could have if he got good help, but the David Kahn and the management didn't think that. So they traded a top 10 player, Kevin Love, to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins would win Rookie of the Year and was one of the most hyped players in just NBA history. And we all know that his work ethic wasn't amazing, and he put up some good stats like 18 points a game, okay efficiency, but we know the effort wasn't there. He could have just been so much more, and Wiggins was a good player, but he wasn't that franchise player as we expected. Then in 2015, they drafted their franchise player right now, Karl Anthony Towns. Cat also won Rookie of the Year, and his hype was so high, just as high as Wiggins in like the 2016 season. I think there was like a poll of like, who would you rather build your franchise around? A rookie Karl Anthony Towns or Anthony Davis or Kevin Durant? And the leader was Karl Anthony Towns, even though he wasn't the best player in the world back then or at that time, but his talent, the ceiling just was so high at that time. So then they had a couple bad seasons. They fumbled a couple more picks, and then we, of course, have the 2017 draft where they traded for Jimmy Butler. Jimmy was, of course, an all-star caliber player, and after trading away Zach LaVine, who's an all-star, Larry Markkinen, a good player, Chris Dunn, an okay backup point guard, it's an interesting trade because Zach is, of course, such a good player now, and he would have been a decent fit with this team. But after only having 1 year with Jimmy, yes, they were really good when Jimmy was healthy. They were like a top 5 seed. But Jimmy really exposed them. It showed that the work ethic of Cat and Wiggins wasn't amazing. He had some like practice fights, and soon demanded a trade, or when giving up so much assets for Jimmy, they got so little in return, and only Dario Saric, Robert Covington, and a second round pick. That's nothing for a caliber player as Jimmy Butler. So they started to become bad again. They got the 11th pick, and they traded down. They traded up to get Jarrett Culver, who they recently traded for Patrick Beverley. They had another bad season, and finally they traded Andrew Wiggins and a top 3 protected pick for D'Angelo Russell. At the time, it seemed like a solid deal, but after seeing that D'Lo would get hurt, and yes, he is best friends with Cat, but ever since D'Lo's been on this team, none of them can stay healthy. Cat, I know he's had some personal issues, but hopefully they can break out next year. So going back to the question, when will the Minnesota Timberwolves be good? Well, I think they can be good this year. If you think about it, they have D'Lo. Alright, now, the biggest reason why they were so bad last year was their health. I'm pretty sure, like, when everyone's healthy, D'Lo, Cat, Edwards, Malik Beasley, they were basically above 500 team, and they were really beating some good teams that you wouldn't have expected. But Malik Beasley had some off-the-court issues. D'Lo had missed like 4 to 6 months with a knee something. And so it only left Cat, Edwards with a bunch of one-way players, one-trick ponies, and basically no depth. And that's why they lost so many games. Now, next season, hopefully they're going to stay healthy with the lineup of D'Lo, Malik Beasley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, with the bench of right now, like Jordan McLaughlin, Jalen Noel, Josh Okogie, Jarrett Vanderbilt, Naz Reid, it's not a super deep team. And I mean, they have some players, but not that like 6-man that you would prefer. But I don't know if this team can make the playoffs. I mean, I think it can. The chemistry of Kat and D'Lo will be there. Maybe Ant-Man can also be in that chemistry. But it's going to be tough in this really tough Western Conference with like so many teams, with the Pelicans getting better, the Kings getting better, the Grizzlies getting even better. It might be really tough for this Wolves team, but I think they do have the talent, and especially if they make a trade. Now, what can that trade be? And I think that they should go all in for Ben Simmons. Now, I know Ben Simmons is one of the most hated players in the NBA. He doesn't perform in the playoffs, but the thing is that Ben Simmons excels in the regular season, and that's what this team needs first. And I think he still can improve on his playoff experience, but just getting in the playoffs first, which Ben Simmons can be very beneficial to, I think that can be big. Now, the package would have to be pretty steep. Now, they don't want to trade D'Lo or Edwards, and then you have like a Malik Beasley. I think they traded they have Patrick Beverley on the team, like Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley. They have all of their firsts, like maybe like a young player, maybe Jaden McDaniels. I don't think that's enough for the Sixers to do. But if Ben Simmons is on this roster, I would love it. He doesn't. This team already has so much spacing with D'Lo, Edwards, Cat, but they need his defense. He would be so versatile, can guard their 1 through 5, just their best player any night, whether it's that Devin Booker or it's that Anthony Davis. He can guard both of them, and at a pretty high level. Now, I don't know if they're gonna get him. I don't think they have the assets if they're not willing to trade D'Lo or Edwards, but it's an interesting idea. I would also maybe get some more defense, and I don't know. I mean, the bench maybe needs some more scoring. I mean, Jalen Noel, he played pretty well in the summer league. Jarrett Vanderbilt. I mean, just this team it's good, but it's really weird, and I don't really think it fits together well, and I don't know if that will lead them to maybe even a play-in. I mean, the Spurs are most likely going to fall out, so maybe the Wolves can sneak in, or the Pelicans will. But it's going to be an interesting season for the Wolves. I do think that this might be a boom or bust season, because with Karl Anthony Towns being here, assuming he stays healthy and plays really well, I think he might request a trade soon, because he's just so good. He's too talented to be on this losing organization that has only won one game in his whole career, one playoff game in his whole career, and I don't think this team is it. If this team doesn't make the playoffs, I think it's time to request a trade. I get staying loyal, and it's good for Cat to stay loyal to a small market team, but sometimes you have to prioritize your just future and winning. And with him already being 25, when he's in his prime, he needs to be on a good team, or his talents are just going to be wasted. Maybe if they trade him to like the Warriors, they get a monster package, the Bulls maybe, or I mean any team would basically want Karl Anthony Towns. But if Cat does get traded, I think they can still build around Anthony Edwards, as Edwards is such a prominent player. His scoring, I think he can break out potentially. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but be better than LaMelo Ball next season. I think he has the talent to do it with his scoring, maybe improving his defense a little bit, showed some flashes as a playmaker, and I'm really high on Anthony Edwards. I was before the draft. I have like a video like way back, I think I deleted it, but I was like, Anthony Edwards is the real deal, and it's looking like that might be correct, but we'll see. It's going to be an interesting year, definitely a big season for this Minnesota Timberwolves team, and if they fail, some more big changes will occur. So comment down below your thoughts. When will the Minnesota Timberwolves be back? When will they make the playoffs? And should Karl Anthony Towns request a trade? Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on next time.